What is up? So, it's been a while since I've uploaded. I've been pretty busy just planning a lot of things in life at this moment in time. We've got a lot of stuff going on at the shop now. I have ventured away, obviously, from Subarus. I really don't do Subarus anymore because I'm tired of building them and then blowing up. And I felt like the Legacy was like the true opening of my mind to say, in order for me to really compete with that car, I would have to step it up like tenfold and spend thousands of dollars, and I just really didn't want to. It made decent power. It handled pretty good, but I couldn't push it as much as I wanted to. Maybe just because I have a little bit lack of experience in driving and I should get a little bit more, but in reality, I knew that car really well and I knew its limit, and I kept exceeding that limit every time I would try to do anything. Even at grid life, I exceeded it multiple times, especially around some of those hairpin bends. Closer doing to like the 70-80 miles an hour range. But anyways, so now I ventured around. Got a Duramax that I'm pretty much restoring for the most part. It has a new bed on it now. Doesn't look bad, but I only got it for $400 and I'm not complaining. I need to replace there's a cross member back here for the spare tire, and if you look, it's kind of somewhere in there. Oh, I'm sorry. It's kind of just non-existent. It's got to be gone through it. As you can see, the shock normally mounts like right over here. That's not there. There's only one shock holding up on that side. Like, it's kind of a disaster. So I have the new plate for that. This is the fun part too. This whole entire floor pan was just replaced. Everything was cut, welded, and whatnot. I don't know if you can see all the way up in there, but it had to be fixed. I traded the 6.0 I had for this. I drove pretty far to get it, and I didn't do my due diligence. I checked the passenger side. The passenger side looked perfect. I was like, you know what, rocket rust, I don't care. It's a Duramax. It's in Connecticut, New England area. Like, I knew it was going to happen. So didn't really check the driver's side. Should have. There was holes in the floor, everything like that. Kibby from work and Chris came down with their trailer and welding equipment. They fixed my floor for me, welded in the new pan. I did their timing jobs on their car. They still got to make caps or box out the actual part that the body mount sits on the actual cab side, so that way that doesn't go through and I can actually fully undercoat this thing and just make it good and clean. It's got a little bit of a coolant leak. I think it's on the EGR side. Hopefully it is. On to the next thing. So I picked this up about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. It is a E30 325E. It has 179,124. Now, unfortunately, that's not true. It definitely has way more miles than that. As to how many, I really don't know. But for right now, I'm planning just to fully restore this and get it to where I would like it to be for, you know, cruising and whatnot. I'm pretty happy. It does have the blue interior, blue leather. Even the seats are in pretty good shape. Even the back is good. The hand leather is pretty good. Dash is correct. Obviously there, here. And then they just put screws everywhere, unfortunately. They did that there. They did it down here. They did it to the glove box, so I got a new glove box, but I can't get it to mount right. I don't know what's going on with that, so I kind of gave up on it for the time being. The radio stuff, I had to replace pretty much everything except and go through the wiring, fix the wiring in the radio. It's been a fun project so far because it hasn't been too difficult. Like, I did the timing belt, did the water pump and all that stuff last weekend. It went pretty smooth. I realized I messed up. I did the cam. When I adjusted the cam, I just skipped the tooth by accident and it was running kind of crappy. But I fixed that yesterday. It took me all of like 45 minutes. It really wasn't bad at all. I was pretty happy with it. It runs really well, and I can't really say much more. It has a typical slap no matter what gear you're in. If it would go into gear, well, here you go. There's first. That's first gear, right? And then to put it in reverse, you got to come all the way, move this thing over and go up. It's just kind of like It's not good. So that's what we got going on with this guy. Right now I'm in the middle of replacing the injectors. I haven't made a video about this, but you know, stuff's going on. A lot of it. Cleaned up the brackets, they all look pretty nice. Valve covers right here. I cleaned this up pretty good. It's painted. It's a mess right now, so don't hate on me. But as for the blue, I don't really know. I just didn't really want it to be the gross color that it was, and I was able to clean it up, make it look good, whatever. So this is my car that I'm taking to Grid Life. So right now I want to find a square tire setup. It's got 275s in the rear. I'm going to try to fit 275s in the front. It has Bilstein B8 or B9, I think these are, struts. They ride pretty darn well. I've been pretty happy with it. It has the JB4 in it. It's got the Bluetooth, all that stuff, anti-lag, yada, yada, yada. It makes good power. I'm pretty happy with it. For the most part, it is relatively stock minus a full bolt-on, so I guess it's not really that stock. Charge pipe, oil thermostat upgrade, pretty much untouched. It has index 8 or index 10s, I don't remember. That one has index 12s. This has the intercooler and all that stuff, catless downpipes. It has a stock catback, so I really like how it sounds. I'm running an E85 mix right now, so it's kind of like an E30, E40 blend, because that's what I can do until I get the ethanol content sensor and do all of that. So that's pretty much this car. The wagon we brought to FCP Euros meet on Sunday, and today is Tuesday, so Sunday, yeah, a couple days ago. And it drove pretty darn well. Unfortunately, it has high miles, so I don't really drive it anymore besides just going to those meets. It's got 175 on it officially as of a couple days ago, so I don't really want to drive it until I kind of figure out what I'm going to do with it eventually. I've gotten plenty of offers to buy it, but I just can't really see to let it go, just because it's such an uncommon car. It's the M-Pack. It just won out of 1009, yada yada yada. So that's that. We finally got this started. I know it's been here a long time, but trust me, it was not easy even getting to the point where we're at, because like I said, this transmission has never been in this car. It's a Spec B transmission out of a 05 Legacy GT from Japan. So it has the trans, the rear diff, has STI front and rear axles. It has the original automatic transmission drive shaft that came out of this car. It's got BC coilovers. We did the whole entire rear end. We replaced the whole subframe, all the arms, everything back there. We replaced the sway bars front and rear because it needed it. We got, this isn't gonna stay here. I've been waiting to basically get the piping done. And then I think we want to take that and put this right here, because I was looking at it and the height of that versus this will keep this tucked away a lot nicer, and I'll be a lot happier with that. TJ is actually coming down today to drop off the radiator and a couple more parts that we needed, and then it should be pretty much ready to get sent out to be tuned and whatnot. I do still need to fix one more thing that I'm kind of unhappy with. It's my own fault, but I originally ran the lines backwards for the fuel pressure regulator because I never did one. I had it backwards in my head. I don't know why. I thought that the E85 sensor would come on the incoming side and then go to the actual rail and then disperse out from there. And then I don't know what I was thinking, but it didn't work that way. So I'm glad that we finally figured it out. So basically, when you go to do this, for you guys' future awareness, you have the incoming side come here, bang, bang, boom, it comes under here, it tees off right here, and you want to make these as equal as possible as they are. So we have ours run to the inside on both sides, right? And then on the outside, this hose needs to be cut. This is what I was saying. It's a disaster, and that's -8 line, and this is all feeding -6, so it's got to be fixed. But anyways, so, and then it comes to your fuel pressure regulator, and then this one comes to your fuel pressure regulator from the back there, and then it comes out. This is where it builds the pressure, so everything stays fed, and then goes back around and then into your fuel return line rail. 5 sensors right here. I'm thinking about putting a little cubby with 2 gauge pods or whatever gauge holes, so we can have a air fuel ratio gauge here, and then the E85 gauge here, and then he'll have his access port, you know, somewhere over here too. As you can see, this is the Spec B trans. I should probably push in the clutch. 5, 6, and reverse. So it all fit perfectly in there. After messing around with everything, and it's got a really stiff clutch. I mean, I'm no strong guy, but it's pretty stiff. It's good calf workout, especially in traffic. And if any of you guys are body guys, you can help me out with this. I need a little bit of help. So I got a hole here, right? And unfortunately, this hole went into the frame rail and went to there. So I saw they make frame rail reinforcement kits, which is cool because that can be cut out and then saved. The rockers on this thing are actually in really good shape. I got pretty lucky with that. I can't really jack it up from up here. Look, there's a nice bumblebee right there, a little bee. Oh, that's a wasp, never mind. But overall, the plan is just to get this car running and driving nicely. It does have your typical, look at this guy. Oh, he dipped. Anyways, it does have your typical like fuel pressure or fuel line, you know, covered, freaking rusty like that. This is actually relatively in good shape on the battery side. It's not bad. I was looking at a lot worse cars, so if that makes any sense, but this side is not in the best shape either. It's definitely got some rust down there, and then this one's got a hole back here. But for what it is as a starting point, I'm not too upset. This is like the only spot right here. The rockers are relatively clean, and like I said, this interior is by far pretty decent. I know it's dirty because of our driveway, but it is what it is. It's in decent shape for what it is. I mean, even the floor back here is pretty good. So I did order a new steering wheel for it. I ordered a Monte Carlo Momo wheel. Austin kind of put me onto it. I kind of stole it from him because he was gonna buy one, but I bought one too, so maybe he'll buy another one out of it. So yeah, I'll do a couple more uploads more often because I really got to get into the swing of doing this stuff again. I don't know why I keep pushing it off, but I keep telling myself I don't have time, and that's not true. I could take the extra few minutes to explain some things and do more in-depth detail on like what I'm doing on this car, which I probably should, because it's a cool restoration process that I got going on. But if you guys have any suggestions on what head to use, because like I said, I don't want to use this head anymore. I can't, it's dog slow. I was thinking about the 731 head or the 885. I've seen pros and cons to each. I'm not really opposed to either or. From what I've seen, they'll both do about what I want, which is to rev it out way higher, and then it'll get a little bit more power. This thing is really freaking slow, but what do I have to expect? I mean, it weighs 2,400 pounds, 2,500 pounds, and it's got what, 120 horsepower, maybe with those new injectors of 120 horse. But you know, be that as it may, it's a starting point. So stay tuned for more content. Sorry this video was long, but I figured I would go through and just explain all the fun shop stuff going on. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.